Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I was talking with a young man and I asked him about how he was feeling, and he said, "I'm very happy." And I said, "What is the source of your happiness?" Now, he's a bodybuilder with an admirable physique. He said, "Well, I work out, I look good, I wear nice clothes, and I feel happy." I said, "Is the happiness derived from the pleasure of looking at your physique?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Does the appreciation of others bring that happiness to you?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "And then what happens when you grow older and you lose your physique and you lose your agility and people stop admiring you? What happens at that point?" He said, "Oh, I've never thought of that. I would become extremely miserable." I said, "Think about this for a while. That should you be beholden to the appreciation of others, shouldn't there be something far deeper that forms the source of your contentment?" When thinking through this, we realize that we take pleasure from our bodily beings, whereas what the inner being wants is to find itself and take pleasure that is real through acknowledgement of itself and not through the bodily medium. This fades away. And I've realized that the cause of misery for probably all of us is letting go of what we find pleasure in, or when it is removed from us. And that shows a state of inner emptiness. Now, yesterday we discussed that our journey is the inner journey, in which we constantly need to let go in order to find ourselves or arrive at a deeper sense of ourselves. As the seed, in order to become a tree, needs to take on a journey of self-destruction. So self-discovery entails self-destruction. What that means is that we need to remove impediments that are blocking us from arriving at a deeper level of our own selves. Now, normally we imagine impediments in a very mundane manner, that I am not getting up on time, I am not productive, I am not praying enough. Indeed, these are levels of impediment, but they are very superficial compared to the real impediment. The real impediment is the identity of the soul. Whatever impressions that the soul has acquired through experiences from childhood until this stage of our lives, this forms for us our personality, our outlook. And it is so enforcing that it is easy to climb a mountain than to look within and to address this impediment. It is the most arduous thing that the human being ever faces, to change our own selves. I believe that the Prophet said that if you were to hear that a mountain has moved from its place despite it being so firmly pegged within the earth, then it is easier to believe than to believe that a person has changed his habits. This is how firm they are, our personalities. And although they are false personalities, but this is how their grip is upon the soul. So now, the real impediments are the inner impediments which we need to acknowledge. You see, our pains result from deeper things. I was talking with a young lady who was extremely heartbroken because she was deceived by her partner. They broke up, but every time she would see him and be reminded of him. And she asked me, she said, "But I've let him go. Why am I being reminded of him? Why must I endure this sorrow and this pain?" I said, "Because you have decided to keep him alive inside you. He has become a source of your joy and your sorrow. The problem is not in the cosmos conspiring against you. The divine is trying to tell you that you have created an idol inside you, and that's your impediment. And it is his love for you that he keeps on reminding you about this impediment. So you address the real issue within yourself. Why should you make a man a point of your joy and a point of your sorrow? You need to be far beyond it. There is a deeper calling inside yourself to relieve yourself, relinquish yourself of this impediment and find that joy through yourself, not through another. When we look into it to a greater extent, we find that our souls are carrying memories of events that have taken place in our lives. And each one of this event has left an impression. And these impressions, without us knowing, have formed us. What we need to do here is, one by one, we need to go within. Look at what are those things that are barring us from leading a life of a free individual who can experience every moment and who is able to grow. What we need to do, therefore, is to become that seed once again, who has resolved that I am now available for myself to be broken in order for myself to be remolded, to arrive in a newer form of being. I am stuck somewhere. Now, when we look inside, it's difficult. We tend to shy away. We tend to hide. But no, this point requires utmost honesty. Imam Ali, I believe, had said, a man far more brave than the greatest warrior to look within and to see their true self. But here we need to look within. We need to bring out those memories to the forefront of our minds. Acknowledge them. Say that these are the points that I am carrying with me, that have then barred my onward journey and have gotten stuck somewhere. Now there might be many impressions, many points, to bring them to the fore of our minds, to look at them, to acknowledge them, even if it causes utmost embarrassment. Look at them, because until and unless we look at them and acknowledge them, they fester like a cancer within and shape us in that negative way, no matter how far we progress in our lives. So the removal of impediment is first and foremost removal of the impediments that have formed upon the soul. To look at these memories, to acknowledge them, to feel embarrassed about them if we want to. Once we do that, we have acknowledged them. We have not shied away from them. We have not hidden them. Once we do that, then we let them go. They will stay there. But slowly they will begin to fade away because we are not nurturing an unknown enemy anymore. We have acknowledged that there is a problem and we've brought it to the forefront of our minds. Now, going back with that initial event that we started off with, why do we take pleasure in our physiques, in our clothes, in the way people perceive us? It is possibly due to some previous event in which we understood that our worth is based on the appreciation of others, either because others were praised and we were not, or either because we were not acknowledged at all. And once we embarked on bodybuilding, let us say, people began to notice us. There is something definitely there that needs to be looked into so that we can acknowledge it and remove it and commence on our journeys. What I would like us to think for today's discussion is that our present attitudes, our present outlooks, our present way of reaction and interaction, is it truly us, or is it being governed by other factors? Are we truly free, or are we in a stage of captivity? Not physical captivity, but a far more intimate captivity, which is far difficult to be released from. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.